First and Sunday games, then the early kick-off at the Vitality Stadium. Bournemouth against Watford, a real bottom of the table clash. Second from bottom against third from bottom. Ake was back for Eddie Howe's team, but he was playing at left back, trying to combat the threat of Delafeu and Sarr. King was also back for Watford. And so 3 minutes, Sarr was put through on the right, but his cross comes shot, went harmlessly away from a slight deflection for a corner. Then on 6 minutes, another cross for Bournemouth found Solanke, but Foster managed to grab it and fought the danger. And then on 9 minutes, Harry Wilson free kick that left Foster stranded, but it went the wrong side of the post. Then on 17 minutes, Travis had responded well to his debut, and he snuffed out a neat Watford move, which ended in a Delafeu shot. But the keeper managed to push it behind for a corner. No side really had the upper hand as we approached the half-hour mark. Midfield was where it was being contested, but as I say, the scoring opportunities were very limited. But then on 42 minutes, a real howler by the debutant in goal, Travis. He made a right hash of a clearance, and Sarr picked it up and crossed the ball, and Decore was there, and his strike, after Delafeu had set him up, his strike went in, and Watford had taken the lead 1-0, and that was the score at the break. Into the second half then, Bournemouth having it all to do, but Watford were really now in the ascendancy, and they were moving forward with assurance. Sarr had a shot that was deflected over for a corner, and another opportunity for him, but this time his effort was poor, and it was cleared with ease. And on 53 minutes, a chance for Bournemouth, Callum Wilson, who really hadn't been in the game, from a corner, but his flicked header couldn't find the target. And a couple of minutes later, a quick counter-attack, Delafeu at the heart of it again, and he sliced his shot well wide. And another effort for Callum Wilson, but again, he just didn't have the effort to test Foster. The Cherries were moving the ball quicker now, but they lacked that telling pass. 64 minutes, another nice move by Watford, and some really good work from Sarr down the right, and he clipped the ball to Delafeu, whose shot was blocked, and it came out quickly to Deeney, who latched onto it and smashed it into the net, and that was 2-0 to the Hornets. The air came out of the bubble came out of the balloon after that for Bournemouth. Their heads started to drop, and they looked like a team that had been struggling, let's put it bluntly. And Watford were becoming ever more dangerous on the counter-attack. Yeah, Bournemouth were pressing forward, but they were leaving huge gaps at the back, and Delafeu was having a field day, and he had an effort on 73 minutes which ricocheted wide for a corner, and finally in added time, Bournemouth got found out again on the counter. This time Pereira hit a great volley to make it 3-0 after another good move, linking up with other members of the side, and a well-deserved win really for Watford. They were comfortable at the end. They won this game by 3-0. Slightly flattered them, but their second half performance was certainly first rate. And Eddie Howe's Bournemouth, well, they're looking like relegation material now. So final score at the Vitality Stadium was Bournemouth 0, Watford 3. So the final match of this weekend fixtures, week 22, was at Villa Park, and the champions at Manchester City were in town. I saw very brief highlights of this. And it was a painful watch if you were a Villa supporter. It was a totally dominating performance by Manchester City. An early shot from Cancelo was a warning on 7 minutes as to what to come, and the floodgates opened on 17 minutes. A marauding run from the right wing by Mahrez, and he kept on running, jinking left and right, and he finally got his left foot shot away, swept inside Heaton's near post, and it was 1-0. And the same player, Mahrez, on 23, doubled the lead for a disastrous piece of defending, and his clinical finish put City 2 up. Things got worse on 25 minutes when Jesus, he had a good chance, but he poked it over. But then on 27 minutes, a great shot by Aguero from distance hit the top corner, and it was now 3-0 to City. 37 minutes, there was an opportunity on a free kick which went just wide. But on 40 minutes, first effort for Villa, El Ghazi strike, but it went well wide. And then in added time, Jesus at the far post anticipated an exquisite cross from De Bruyne, and it was 4-0, and that was the half-time score. Into the second half, well, things didn't improve. Not for Villa anyway. On 56 minutes, Aguero hit his second. Precision from a corner. He is absolutely lethal, and it was set up by David Silva. And then 80 minutes, he managed to get his hat-trick goal after another disastrous error by the Villa defence. So 6-0 now to City, and it was really getting painful for the Villa faithful. They did get a consolation on 89 minutes. Gundogan managed to trip somebody up. Penalty awarded. El Ghazi completed the penalty kick. It was a consolation, nothing else. So final score at Villa was Aston Villa 1, Manchester City 6. So that is this week done and dusted. Leicester have faltered, so City are now in second, but they're still 13 odd points behind Liverpool. Chelsea solidly in fourth now. Manchester United in fifth, with Sheffield United just behind them. At the bottom, Bournemouth have now gone into next to bottom, following their defeat to Watford. Villa are third from bottom, and Watford are now out of the drop zone for the first time this season. So certainly Pearson must be happy with his work. As for goals of the week, well, I'm struggling really to choose one this week, because there were some great ones, and none better really than Mahrez's jinking run. But Aguero's strike was impressive as well. And as regards the earlier matches, I'm struggling at the moment to make a choice, as you can probably gather. But I'm going to give it to Mahrez. This man has taken a long time to establish himself in the Manchester City team. He was always a class act at Leicester. He won the African Nations Cup for his country last summer. He is really coming good now. And so I'm giving it to Riyad Mahrez for his first goal against Aston Villa. See you next week.